What's happening? Welcome. Steeler Nation, Steeler Faithful, all of the above. Welcome, man, to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the Steel basement. And I am happy to be with you guys, man. I'm just checking my audio levels. Yep, looks like everything is good. Give me the verbal okay, the visual okay, guys. Leave a thumbs up to make sure you can hear me just fine. And I'm ready to get after it, man. I'm ready to get after it. Got a little bit here to talk about, man. And then outside of that, I will visit the chat. But also, I told you guys I would try to have a means for you guys to call in. And we're going to try something tonight, guys. We're going to see if it will work. It may or may not. But unfortunately, I haven't found anything that was like Blog Talk. But I have started a Discord server, and I'm going to see if I can get that to work, right? I started a Discord server. I'm going to see if I can get that to work. The only unfortunate thing, guys, is with Discord, you got to have an account. So hopefully some of you guys have a Discord account and we can test it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, again, I'm holding to my word and I'm trying to get that service available. If Discord doesn't work, maybe next week we'll have to move on to, Google Meets or something. But we're going to try to get this thing to work some kind of way, man. And as much as Blog Talk Radio used to get on our nerves, when it did work, man, it was a wonderful, powerful tool, man. And it worked exactly how I preferred for it to work. So what I'm going to do really quick, guys, I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link to Discord in the chat. Give me a second, and then we'll get started. I'm going to drop the link in there, guys. And for any of you all who have Discord, give it a try. Let me know if you're able to accept the invite. And if it works, then it should work. Ali says, if you don't have it, go ask your kid. Yeah, let me drop it in the chat here. And, we just want to see if we can get it to work, man. And if it does, great. Because also, I got to make sure I can feed the audio through it. So either way, this is going to be a trial run. Either way, whether we get the audio to work or not, if at least I could get you guys in the Discord, then maybe next week, if the audio doesn't work tonight, then we'll figure that part out. But I definitely want to try some way to get you guys back on the line. But let's get to it, guys. Welcome, man. Let's say hello to the early commenters, guys, and then we're going to dive right in. My man, Drama Sidale in the building. Jared Devil in the building. Real Facts. What happened in Real Facts? I haven't seen you in a while, my brother. Hope you're good, man. Glad to see you. He's in the building. Miss Lanisha, the lovely Lanisha in the building. Hello, Lanisha. And all of the other lovely ladies of Steeler Nation who may be listening. Guys, y'all know the routine. Treat them with care. Lay out that red carpet for them and make sure you say hello to our lovely lady Faithful. Hello, Lanisha. Crazy Ron Gaming in the building. Charlie Brown in the building. My man, C.T. Pittman in the building. My good brother Mark Cunningham is in the building. Rajon 39 is in the building. Who else is up in here, man? I saw my good brother Kenyon in the building as well. Leonard Langley. Pop is in the building. Good brother Y Diggy in the building. Sonny Rothmiller is in the building. Ali Howard. Alisa. Hello, Alisa. Another one. Another lovely lady of Steeler Nation. Hello, Alisa. Hello. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Zuami M is also, I could be wrong, so please correct me if I'm not. But guys, make sure you say hello to our lovely ladies of Steeler Nation. Who else is up in here, man? Who else? Steeler Cards in the building. Who else? Christopher West is in the building. Jermaine White is in the building. He said, let's go. Let's do it. Derek Moore is in the building, and I'll read one or two more names. Hold on. Yes, I know for sure you are, Alisa. I'm not sure about Zuami, though. For some reason, I'm feeling like it's one of our ladies, but I could be wrong. And if you're not Zuami, my bad. I just be trying to remember from visual sight of the name. There we go, Daron. Daron is in the building. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Vista Light is in the building. Let's get to, oh, hold on, one more. Dirty is in the building as well. All right, let's get to it, guys. Not gonna hold you guys too crazy long. Again, I dropped the Discord in the chat. Let me know if any of you guys are able to accept that invite. Right? And if you're able to accept it, then hopefully we can get it rolling. Hopefully we can get it rolling. All right. So what do we want to talk about first? I guess first order of business, guys, I guess we should address the injury report, of course. We did learn, unfortunately, man, that Deshaun Elliott is going to be out for a somewhat extensive amount of time. You know, they're looking at about, I'll say between 2 and 4 weeks. I think 4 weeks was on the higher end. Most are saying that he's going to try to get back for the game in Ireland, which is against the Vikings. That is week 4. And as you guys may or may not know, the Pittsburgh Steelers has the early bye. We have an early bye after week 4, which I do not like. But they're speculating that he could be back by that game. I tend to think that if he's able to be back by that game, given the situation of our defense or what have you, depending on how we're looking in that week, you might as well just hold him out until after the bye, right? If you have a bye right after that, it makes more sense to give him a little more rest, let him rest up. But we shall see. That's what they're speculating now, that, you know, the target is for him to be potentially back by the Vikings game. But like I said, man, it's about a 2 to 4 week estimation right now. So we'll see. And I will say that was a tough loss, man. Again, Deshaun Elliott, again, it's only week 1. So you guys can, you know, have your opinions on how you think he or may have played in the first game. But if you remember what he did for us and what value he was last season, I think Deshaun Elliott is capable of being that same guy for our defense. So that is a loss. Now, however, with the loss, you know, I didn't get a chance to watch the full all 22. I watched a little bit of it. I'll probably try to finish that up tonight. I need to look and see, you know, how Chuck Clark did, you know, in that stint that he had to play. Because which interesting as well, Jalen Ramsey played a whole lot of spots as well. And I didn't all the way realize that when I was watching the TV tape, like when I watched the game in real time. So I'm curious to go back and just see, you know, how Jalen looked as free safety, as an outside corner, as the slot corner. Also, another injury to add to that, man, Joey Porter Jr., you know, tweaked his hamstring or what have you, and they shut him down for the remainder of the game. He's categorized right now as, you know, being somebody that they're going to let the participation be the guide, but more than likely he'll be able to play. And thank God for having people like, you know, Brandon Echols on the team as well. Again, somebody else who could play on the outside, and the Steelers were able to keep, you know, fresh bodies, if you will, in these positions. Other than that, Mike Tomlin also talked about, who else was it, guys? I know it was Harmon. He's expected to be out. It was Harmon, Deshaun Elliott, and it was somebody else. Malik Harrison dealing with the knee as well. So from what was said by Mike Tomlin today, the 3 of those gentlemen can be categorized as out. So we'll just have to see how everybody else, you know, how they respond. Now, with the response of Deshaun Elliott going down, Pittsburgh Steelers went out and they signed Jabril Peppers. Now, I'm going to give them a quick round of applause for that. Great job, Steelers. I'm not here to say how good or bad Jabril Peppers will be. But the reason why I say great job is the Steelers, man, and listen, and I think we've kind of seen this from Omar Khan being at the helm. They don't really sit back no more and just, you know, go with what they could go with, right? You know, we've been accustomed over the years. They just go with whoever's on the practice squad. It might not be the biggest name. And I'm not saying that practice squad guys can't do it, but it's good to see that the Steelers are literally looking on the outside and say, okay, who we got over there? Can this guy be better? And they go get the guy. Like I said, I don't know how good or bad Jabril Peppers will be. You know, Peppers has played on a couple teams in his NFL career. You know, he was touted very highly coming out of Michigan. Mike Tomlin as much said that he's a guy that, of course, was on his radar. He's had a decent, solid career. I can't say how great because I haven't watched him in every game he's played in. But I will say this. I like his style of play. One thing I do know about Jabril Peppers, smart guy, and he's a hitter. He'll come up and knock you in the dirt. I love that. So I love his style of play with a guy like Jalen Ramsey, you know, with a guy like Chuck Clark, who was a hitter as well back in the Baltimore days. But you need that presence. You need a player kind of like that to replace or help replace Deshaun Elliott, because Deshaun Elliott kind of plays that role too, that in the box, big hitter type of guy. And I know Jabril Peppers is capable of doing that. So I appreciate the Steelers going out and doing that. And we'll see, you know, where that goes. You know, I'm excited by that. It's always interesting when those things happen though, guys, because then you have to think about, well, what happens when Deshaun Elliott comes back? You know, has Peppers done enough that we would keep him and we trim fat somewhere else? You know what I mean? So it's always interesting when guys are signed in that capacity, because it's almost like an audition for them. And it makes me feel like you're going to get the best them, right? Because Peppers knows what time it is. He knows he has an opportunity to come in here and do something to make the Steelers, you know, force their hand when Elliott comes back. Not saying that you would replace Elliott. I'm just saying you have an opportunity to do something to make the Steelers keep you on their roster. So that's why I always love when guys, I hate when guys get injured, but I love when we could get a guy, sign a guy in that short-term capacity, because you know they're going to play as hard as they can. So happy about that. Let me see what else I had on the docket, guys. Already talked about Peppers. We talked about the injury report. And let's just give another light recap. And then after that, guys, we're going to see if we can get this Discord to work. I'm going to drop the link again right here. Hold on, guys. I'm going to drop the link again. Y'all let me know, for any of you guys who have Discord, can you get into it? And if you're able to accept the invite there, let me check it really quick. I don't know if it shows me if anybody is in there. Hold on, let me see. Give me a second, guys. Okay, Rob Dilla is saying he's in. Who else? Somebody else says they're in. W says they're in. That might be Y Diggy. That looked like Y Diggy's thumbnail. I recognize the good brother's beard. All right, cool. Y'all are in. So let me see something. Hold on, guys. Y'all bear with me. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out how. Let's see. Open mod view. You guys are in, but I'm trying to see if, I don't know how they would be able to talk. So let's try something really quick, guys. Real quick. Bear with me, viewing public. Rob Dilla as well as Y Diggy. If you guys can try to speak or try to talk to me in Discord, we're going to see if it works really quick. And if it does, we'll come back to you in a second. But it says you guys are in. I see you there. I just don't know how and where it would show me if you guys are talking. Hold on. I just heard something. Hold on.
Can you hear me? This is why I didn't.
I can hear you, brother. Hold on. Let's make sure you're coming through the chat. Say something else.
Hello?
Perfect. You can hear me, right?
Yes, I hear you.
All right, so I'm gonna ask the chat. Chat, can you guys hear Y Diggy? Hopefully y'all say yes. If you say yes, we in business. And then I'm going to come to Y Diggy and Dilla in just a moment. Yo, we looking at, hold on. Somebody please confirm really quick that y'all can hear him, man. If y'all heard him, we good. And we have a temporary solution. Okay, they say barely. All right, hold on. Let's see if I can adjust something for Diggy. Hold on. They say they could barely hear him. What about now? Say something else. Why, Diggy?
Hello, everybody.
All right, y'all. Let me know if y'all heard that.
I do have Bluetooth, so that might be a reason why we can barely hear me.
Yeah, they heard you though. So that, man, we off to a good start. We might be cooking with maybe not gas, but maybe kerosene. we might be good money. Hold on. All right, y'all give me another A-OK if y'all can hear him. Still a bit low, but you can hear him. But we'll work on the rest of that. So if y'all can hear him, that's good. And I'm gonna come to him in just a moment because I think it could be on my end as well. It might not be coming through the software the way it's supposed to. But we'll figure that out. But all right, why Diggy, I'm gonna come right back to you in a second. So at least we know we can get people in. So here it is, guys. Again, if you have Discord, I'm going to put the link in the description again when I come to the phone calls. We at least know that it's working somewhat. And that's all we got right now. There's Rob Dilla as well. So I'm going to come to those gentlemen here in a moment. Let me get back to what I was saying really quick, guys. What was I saying? Oh, I was talking about slight recap of the game. Man, bruh, let me just say this. Again, I haven't watched it all 22, so just watching the game over though, from what I was able to see, at least in the first 3 or 4 possessions, man, Keanu Benton was getting worked, bro. I will say this. Again, I've only watched one series so far of the All-22, the opening series by the Jets. I will say this. Keanu Benton was getting double-teamed, as was Cam Hayward at certain times, but Keanu was ending up, he was on his butt a lot. Remember I told you guys on Sunday that I thought it may have been Y.A. Black, but I could be wrong because, again, watching the TV tape, I couldn't always tell the number, and, you know, those guys' numbers are very similar. I saw Mark, I think, on the show say, one of y'all said that he changed his number and y'all wasn't sure who he was. He wears number 94 now. So some of you guys may have been looking for, I think he was wearing 78 in training camp, but he switched to his college number. So because of that, looking at the TV broadcast, I couldn't always tell if it was 95 or 94, but very quickly watching the first drive on the All-22, I was able to see immediately, you know, if I could borrow from Bernie Mac right there, immediately I was able to see, Lord have mercy, Benton was getting washed. It was double teams, but still, man, he ended up on his keister way too much for my liking. What else stood out to me? I can't wait to watch the full All-22 because Broderick Jones, right? Didn't look great. Gave up 3 sacks, but if I'm not mistaken, rewatching the game, I want to say most, if not all of those sacks were when we were in play action. I heard Tomlin mention that as well, but it's funny because when I watched the game again, honestly, I didn't all the way pay attention to what we were running, and that's what I used the 22 for. Speaking of which, channel members, yes, I will be doing the breakdown of the 22 again, so that will be coming you guys' way, like we did last season. I appreciate y'all for paying for the channel, man. You know, I got to get that content out to you guys, so that will be coming your way. But I think most of those were play action, and the reason why I want to point that out, What I'm going to be looking for on the All 22 and channel members, when I break it down, when we look at it semi together, I want to focus on Broderick Jones too on other plays, right? Because I want to know, was he just bad in general, or was he having issues in play action, being able to hold up his end of the bargain in play action? So that's what I'm going to be focusing on the All 22. Either way, whether it was all play action or not, he's got to play better. He's got to play better. And I already see the boo birds. I already see the bus calls. And let me just say this. It's week 1. That's number 1. Number 2, Broderick Jones is playing left tackle for the first time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to go through his bumps. Number 3, should we be looking at it and having a slight concern? Sure. But here's the thing that I want to remind everybody. Who else do we turn to? Because I see a lot of people already, on social media. Oh, he's got to go. Oh, get rid of him, bench him. Who do we put in place of him? It's not like we got this extreme depth behind him. Now, maybe one of those swing guys behind him could play better, but I'm just saying, where's the answer today? What could very well happen is Broderick Jones could end up like Dan Moore. You let him play through this season, he goes through his ups and downs, and then he starts developing, getting a little better. And I know some of y'all didn't like Dan Moore either, but I will say Dan Moore wasn't the greatest, but he did have good games and spots. Or maybe Broderick Jones turns into a Alejandro Villanueva, right? He gets better and better and better over time, and then he ends up being a pretty solid left tackle. All I'm saying is, I'm just not in the business of getting rid of people so quickly. I mean, let it play out. That's what I was saying on Sunday. Even if this dude is stinking up the place, I don't know who you replace him with. So it could be that the Steelers just have a problem at left tackle for the 2025 season. But all of this after every game, sit this dude down, cut this dude, cut that dude. You know what I'm saying? You got to let it play out, guys. That's all I'm saying. Because if it was you, let's ask ourselves, gentlemen and ladies, because some of you ladies in the chat I found out play a little sports. If it was you, would you want somebody to give up on you so fast because you had a bad game or you have a bad couple of games? Or would you feel like you want to keep giving it a try and hopefully get better? And then if at the end of your rope, it ain't no rope left, then you part ways. But I don't know, man. Y'all just really quick to get rid of these guys so fast. And again, can we respect the Jets defense? Will McDonald and them guys, I mean, sometimes you go up against a really good opponent. I mean, I saw one time he hit him with a spin move and he just couldn't. So, that's just how I feel, guys. Let it play out. Other than that, man, the Steelers just could not run the football, man. It was terrible, man. That's all I could say. It was just really, really terrible. We couldn't run the football and we couldn't stop the run. That is a recipe for a disaster. And that was the main thing that stuck out to me, man, watching the game again. Where do the Steelers have to improve? Obviously, they have to stop the run. And the funny thing is, guys, y'all heard me say in the pregame show, you probably heard me say it last Tuesday, what the Steelers cannot afford is to start slow. And here's the ironic thing. Steelers go out there, right? They go out there and they start fast on offense. But the defense starts slow. That is the craziest flip-flop I've ever seen. All last season, last 3-4 seasons, we've been asking the offense to start faster. Can we start faster? Can we put points on the board? Can we sustain a drive? We've been asking that for at least, 3 to 4 years. We finally do it. And then our defense is the ones that we got to pick up off the ground. Can we just get some balance? Again, it's week 1. I'm not going to panic, but come on. Football is football, right? I understand you got new pieces in place. I get all of that. And, you got off-season rust and all that. I get all of that. But playing your gap plugging the gap, rushing the passer. All of this stuff don't change. So maybe we don't look your best, but I expect us to look better than that on the first week. Come on. So, but hey, here's a consolation. Y'all looked around the NFL? There's a whole lot of teams ain't had no whole lot of defense, huh? You know, Cincinnati and Cleveland, that was a low-scoring game. But how about that Ravens-Bills game? 40 points scored by both. Kind of made me a little excited in terms of saying, oh, okay, maybe we can put some points up on those teams. Now, I'm not excited by what we know the Ravens are capable of doing as far as the run game, seeing how we looked against the Jets. But I'm just saying, man, you look around at some of the more premier teams, like those two are two premier teams in the AFC, and there was a lot of points put up by both. Now, do we have that level of quarterback? No, we don't have a Josh Allen, but hey, we got an old veteran that looks like he can still get it done. Can we run the football like the Ravens? No, we didn't. But I'm just saying, both of those teams surrendered 40 points. So it is what it is. And I understand what you're saying, Jermaine White, but great observation. But again, guys, let's give it more than week one. And y'all know me. I'm always going to allow at least 6 games before I can really define what I think the team is. Not going to over panic about the first week. Even if we would have went out there and dominated, I wouldn't have overhyped that either. I need 6 solid games for me to have a feel of what I think the team is. But that's Hold on. You guys can still hear me, right? Yeah, y'all can still hear me. I don't know what just happened to my audio, but let me turn it down. All right. So, 1 second. Let me cut this music off. It got extremely loud for some reason. But that's all I got, guys. So now I want to see if we could get back to the Discord. So, hold on. Let me get, I'm going to put the link in the chat again, and I want to see if we can get some of you guys in there. And if so, we're going to have at it. And this is the only bootleg way that we have right now, guys, to take calls. Hold on, let me get the link. You know, for you guys that have been rocking with me, you know, for previous years, there used to be Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio is shut down. And I have not been able to find any service close to that. The only thing that I did find that was close to that is this program is called Call In Studio. But they have not only a monthly fee, but they charge per minute for every call. I ain't doing that. You know, Blog Talk Radio was straightforward, man. You paid a monthly fee and that was that. But I'm not getting into the business of paying per minute for phone calls, especially when, you know, I don't know how, you know, how long that will take place or how many people I will have calling in. But anyway, guys, hit that link in the chat and see if you guys are able to join in. I know why Diggy was a little bit earlier, him and Rob Dilla. So we'll see what happens there. In the meantime, let me go to the chat and see what y'all got. See what y'all got in the chat area. Anything y'all want to say, anything you want to comment on, man, just do it. And also, if I missed any Wonder Bread, my bad. I don't think I saw any pop up, but if you did donate, thank you, and sorry that I missed it. Oh, let's see what y'all got. Real to Real says, Sim, you notice in Tomlin era, we never had both offense and defense, I think you're saying. Yeah, you might be right about that. I don't know if I can say that about the entire Tomlin era, though. I don't know if I could say that about the entire Tomlin era. I mean, even when we won the Super Bowl and all of that, and that was Tomlin's era, we wasn't such an offensive team. The game was different back then, but I get your point, though. But all right, guys, it looks like we do have Rob Dilla in the chat. Let's unmute him, and let's see if you guys can hear him. Rob, what's going on, brother?
Not much, man.
Good to hear from you, man. What you got for us? Hopefully the chat can hear you, but if not, still go ahead and speak, and I can relay it.
Right now, I'm listening to you and playing me some Madden.
All right. So what you got, man? Any comments, any questions, any concerns?
Man, I think the Steelers need to grab a running back, a power back.
They actually have one in the waiting. I think Caleb Johnson will be fine. He's a rookie out of Iowa. He's just gonna, he's gonna need some time to get it together. But I think we will be okay at the running back position if they can block for the running backs. I didn't see a whole lot of, and again, watching it one time, after I look at the 22, I'll know for sure, but it didn't seem like we were opening many lanes. But yeah, we'll see. I won't say today that we need a running back, but hey, you can never have enough good running backs. So I'm not going to disagree with you there. Hold on, man. They're saying that it's low. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn you up a little bit. I think what it is, too, is it's not necessarily coming through my... Hold on. Output volume. That's mine, I think. Let's see. All right, there we go. But all right, man, I appreciate you joining in. Did you have anything else before you go?
That's about it, brother.
All right, man. Well, of course, I always appreciate you tuning in, man, rocking with me for as long as you have. So definitely appreciate you stopping by, brother.
All right, man.
All right, peace. All right, guys. So we ain't necessarily cooking with gas, but we getting there. We getting there. And I think it might be, I have to figure out a way to get Discord to play through my, oh, hold on. Give me a second. I might be able to fix it. Give me a second. I think I know what it might be. Hold on. Let's try this. All right. So the next person that chimes in, we're going to see if it works. I may have just fixed it. Don't know for sure. What else y'all got? Anybody else that want to join in, man? Again, right now we rolling with Discord. I can shoot you the link. It looks like this will actually work. So we'll see. Well, let's see what else y'all got in the chat, man. Kenyon is responding to somebody. See what y'all got. Steeler car says, yeah, Mark, that fumble landed. Yeah. Caleb Johnson. Yeah, man, because I was asking Kenya during the game, and it was funny, like right after I texted that to Kenya, maybe a few plays or so later, he finally got in. Because I was like, yo, why Caleb Johnson ain't getting no touches? It was Gainwell and Warren. Like Caleb Johnson, for what, if I remember correctly, I don't even think he got that play until like the second half, maybe. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But somebody, you guys are saying in the chat, you think that Caleb fumbling the ball, may have taken him out of favor. Very possible, man. But I hope not, man, because I think that kid has an opportunity. Great opportunity, man. I think that he has an opportunity to be a really solid back for the Steelers. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, James Tresvant says, this is like Jones. It is. His first year on the left side as a pro. And again, I'm not blaming anybody who feels like they've seen enough. Trust me, guys, when y'all hear me give my opinion, I'm just giving my opinion. I'm never disrespecting yours. I just try to explain to you how I think and how I approach it. I'm not ready to throw Broderick Jones in the trash. Guys, let it play out, man. You know, you have to see how it's going to be. You got to give him some opportunity, right? It's just, if we always wanted to do that, every time a player didn't do this, didn't do that, and y'all want to get rid of him, come on. Do you recall that we had great players for the Steelers that didn't do so great in their first opportunities as a starter? One of them was named Troy Polamalu. Now, I'm in no way, shape, or form trying to compare what Broderick Jones will end up doing to what Troy ended up doing, but I'm just giving an example. Come on, man. Y'all want to give up on people so fast. Just don't understand it. Just don't understand it. Oh, wait, we got a few more people in the Discord, so I'm going to bring on, let's bring on Y Diggy first, and then we'll bring on Daron, and then I can't even see who the other name is, but it don't matter. Just state who you are when you come on. So let's get Y Diggy on first, real quick. Hold on, let me unmute Diggy, or he can unmute from his side, and let's see if they can hear you. Yes, sir, I can hear you. I can hear you fine. The chat, y'all gonna have to let us know if y'all can hear him, but I can hear him just fine. But what's up, Diggy?
Hey, nothing much. Just chilling. Yeah, my thing with the game this week was the trenches. We lost the trenches so bad on both sides of the ball, at least in the run game, that needs to be corrected before any forward movement towards the season, toward the goal. And then with pressure, when we get to the quarterback, they have to finish. There's a lot of times where Justin Fields was escaping, a lot of missed tackles. Peyton Wilson wasn't really good this week. I didn't think so. And then I got to rewatch the game too, because I don't know how much man we played. I thought that was like a sticking point with the secondary. I saw too many free runners, especially early in the game. A lot of free runners with that Garrett Wilson touchdown. Yeah, Darius Slay, he just ran by Darius Slay, and it looked like he was in zone. I don't think he was in man. So I don't know how that's going to get fixed, but hopefully that gets fixed pretty quickly. Offensively, I thought Aaron Rodgers did well offensively. Calvin Austin proved that he might be a viable number 2. That a back shoulder catch was nice. So there's some improvement on both sides of the ball that needs to be made, but I'm more happy, I think, that they won this way instead of winning all the 9 taking field goals all day. So there's something, but yeah, that's what I got.
Man, appreciate you calling in, and guys, it is working. They can hear you loud and clear, so this is great. I think this will probably end up being that new method of basically being able to communicate. And hey, as long as it's working, that's good. We appreciate Diggy, and I can mute guys too, so we'll make it seem like that way. But thanks for calling in, my brother. You know, I appreciate that. But I agree with you 100%. One thing I will say though, really quick about man, and we don't know for sure. So, you know, if you like me, I'm not giving them a pass yet, but just maybe we didn't run a lot of it because of Justin Fields' run ability. Because when you got a mobile guy, you don't want to go turning your back to him. Still a good observation, and I hope that because like you said, they're saying that's going to be an emphasis, but I'm thinking maybe the plan wasn't to run man as much against Fields. And like you said, I got to go back and look at that play too when they kind of basically ran crosses, right? Not the crossing route, but they kind of did like a double post, and he just outran Slay. It was bad. But hey, man, he's 33, and this is why I say sometimes, even though you can still play, you might not have the 23-year-old legs. But yeah, we'll see. But we appreciate you, brother, for sure. Next up, let's grab Daron, and then I'll come to the next caller as well. Forgive me, guys, if I don't know names and such, because I know people's names are probably different in Discord than they are on YouTube. or so my bad. But let me bring Daron on, man. You can go ahead and unmute, my brother. What you got for us?
What's up, y'all?
What's going
Sitting
on?
back watching the game. They was parting left like the Red Seas, up and down the field. Just I seen holes that I believe my 3-month-old could run through. We gotta get that fixed. That's not Steelers ball. That's Cleveland ball. But Cleveland was looking like us. I don't like that. I've been having too much Cleveland folks talking mess this past week. But it's the first game. Over 50% of over 50% of our starters did not play all preseason. That's what everybody got to keep thinking about. Though. Thinking of 50% did not play. Rogers did not play. Cam did not play. Yeah, everybody talking about all Cam won an extension, but he didn't do nothing. Cam didn't play all preseason. Come back to me week 4 and let's reevaluate. Let's see how things go there. But when it comes to this Tyreek Hill business, no, I don't want him. Let's roll with what we got. If it comes to the deadline and our receivers aren't living up to their aspects, then yes, let's go out, shop, and see what we can get. But right now, as they say, let the kids play. Let the kids play. Let's see what it's all. We don't know who they are. Let them play.
Man, absolutely. I can't disagree with the words you said there. Definitely want to chime in on what you said about them not playing. And I don't know how I feel about it, man. You make an excellent point as to say why we all, let's wait until about week 4. I'm with you 100%. But I want to stay on your point, too, about the not playing. I want to ask you guys in the chat. Please, everybody chime in. How do y'all feel about that, right? Tomlin's opinion is, listen, I know what some of these guys could do. I know what guys really need work, what guys don't, not giving some of those guys work, allow others to get opportunities. And I fully agree with that. But do you think it does affect how we start off the jump? And to give Tomlin credit in one area, he said it about Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers came right out there and played. But I do feel like there's some truth to that, right? Where if you're not playing, you got to get in, you got to feel it, dog. You got to get in game shape. I'll give y'all an example just on a minor scale. Y'all know, I'm assistant coaching my son's little, 6th grade. In 6th grade is not middle school where we are. So they still in Pop Warner, 11 and 12-year-olds, right? And we didn't practice since last Wednesday. Thursday practice got canceled. For some reason, they put our team on a week 2 bye. And then we were finally back at practice today, and you can see it. You can see it. It's the same reason why I keep my son engaged. Like, even on the weekend, I'll have him go do a little bit of training, football drills or basketball drills you got to keep them connected. And I think it's the same on the pro level to some degree, dog. If you ain't played since last year, I understand practice is practice, but it's never the same when you're facing another opponent. So I always feel like even if it's just for a few series, a quarter, and I'm one of those guys that feel like you can't worry about if somebody gonna get hurt, dog. You can't play scared like that. But you gotta feel the game. You have to. But how do y'all feel about that, man? Would y'all rather see some of these guys get more work? Jermaine White says preseason work, it's important for the trench players. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why Diggy says, I feel like they should get some game action in the preseason, at least a couple of series. Yes. CT Pittman says, I do, because no matter how much or how little they practice, they cannot get into game shape. That's it, man. That's it. Leonard Green says, I think it's somewhat does. NFL isn't JV. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I just feel that way, you know? So shout outs to Daron, man. That's an excellent point. And it just made me, go extend his point and to say, would we prefer to see them guys get some burn, man? And I feel like you have to. You have to. Absolutely, Odessa. And hello, Odessa. Good to see you. Good to see you. Appreciate you like always, man. Always, you know why I'm saying that, even offline. So I always appreciate you. But she says, yeah, you got to stay ready. So how you going to get ready if you, exactly. And I'll tell y'all something that I'm dealing with now with these 11 and 12-year-olds. Yeah, I mean, I lose my voice saying game speed. When we doing the drill, game speed. When we doing semi-walkthroughs, game speed, at least 3/4 of it, right? Even in a walkthrough, because, and I used to tell my son this even in basketball, his team when he played in, during the spring. Listen, if you practice slow, you're gonna play slow. You gotta do everything like it's a real rep. You have to. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers is the 20-year vet, and I guess he could turn it on and off. But somebody said it up top, man. The trench players, it's very important, man. You can't replicate that in practice. You cannot. You cannot. But like I said, guys, I'm not going to panic, man, over week 1. They got the win. Happy about that. So I'm not going to overblow it one way or the other. But what else y'all got, man? Anybody else want to call in? Again, unfortunately, guys, the only option for calling in is Discord right now. And I hate that. I'm going to say it here. We have about 90 people in the chat. I'm going to say it here for any of you guys that we're about 97 right now. Thank y'all for the viewership. Any of you guys familiar with any type of program where it's a call-in queue? My reference point would be Blog Talk Radio that we used to have. Blog Talk Radio had an independent phone number that someone could call. They did not need a login or an account. They would call. It gave me a queue, a switchboard queue. I could mute people, bring people in, bring people out. That would be preferred. I found one service that's called Call In Studio, but I don't like that they charge you not only a monthly fee, which everybody charges a monthly fee, but they charge per minute for the call. I don't want that. That is not great. It's not great to be paying for the minute. But if anybody is familiar with any service that has that capability, again, the caveat would be you do not need an account. Right now with Discord, you got to have a Discord in order to have a Discord call. Yes, it has worked tonight with a few of our listeners, and I appreciate them, but I know not everybody has a Discord. So I hate to have to make people get an account. So that's what I'm looking for. But in the meantime, we'll continue to use Discord. Daron says we'll be able to manage in the Discord group all the time. Yeah, and I honestly, Daron and Y Diggy, who's still in there, I'm sure they can hear me in both places. I actually like this setup, right? Because it's like a little lounge where we all, this can be where you just pop in there weekly. Shoot me a friend request too, guys, before y'all leave so I can add y'all to the friend list. That way, it's very easy for me to just invite people. You let me know in the chat, hey, I want to call in, and I could just, boom, quickly invite you. I don't even have to put it, I wouldn't have to put the link in the chat. You know what I mean? So, but I think you got to be a friend of mine for me to invite you to the call versus me sending the link. So don't forget to do that. And if anybody else that's listening, don't forget, just search SimFBallCritic, SimFBallCritic. Add me as a friend, and then you're always in, I can always invite you to the call, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that, Nathan. I'm glad you reminded me. He says, Sim, I don't want Tyreek Hill. I want to stick with the wide receivers that we have. Let me speak on that really quick. I don't want Tyreek Hill either. And let me say it in this regard. Will I take Tyreek Hill? Sure. Tyreek Hill would be an amazing addition to anybody's football team just from the receiver that he is. I don't know if I want that distraction, and I don't want the Steelers to reach for Tyreek Hill. If they traded for him and it made sense, cool. But here's the thing, and why Diggy just said it. Why it's like, why everybody turning their attention to Tyreek Hill after seeing the very solid game that Calvin Austin had? No, I'm not comparing the two, but Calvin Austin, listen, he showed up in this game. That back shoulder catch was a catch. That was a receiver catch. That wasn't sometimes receivers are wide open and, they caught the ball. And no. That was him being a receiver, identifying, twisting, catching it. That was a heck of a catch. Right? Also, can we give Roman Wilson a chance? I seen people already crying about him. I'm like, yo, I don't even think he got any targets. I don't think he played many snaps. But why are we so ready to throw people away before we can see what they can do? He's gonna come along. I'm almost guaranteed that. Because Aaron Rodgers, if you look at the throw chart, he hit quite a few different people. But why do we have to rush to go get Tyreek Hill, where in week one, I'm gonna say this, in week one against a good Jet defense, were we the void of a number 2 receiver? I'm asking y'all that. Did anything in that game make you feel like, man, we sure could use another receiver? Like, seriously, not saying want one. I'm saying, did anything happen in that game that made you say, man, we got to get another receiver? Where's the evidence in just the one game that it's a must? Now, yes, if you can upgrade to a Tyreek Hill-like player, sure. But I'm saying, all you guys who are pounding the table, the evidence wasn't there in the first week that we must do it. Even if they were to do it, let's see how the season goes before the deadline. We don't have to pull no triggers right now. And that's all I'm saying, guys. Like, we get too, I don't know. I don't know. Charlie Brown is saying, you says Ecamm Live or Mix LR. Okay, so those, and let me write those down. Actually, let me take a picture of your comment so I don't forget. Let me take a little picture of that. So you're saying those programs would work the way I described. If so, we'll take a look. CT Pittman says it's a microwave society. Some people want what they want right now, real quick, fast, and in a hurry. No patience. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, dang, I mean, I could see it if we were just out here looking horrible from a wide receiver standpoint, but we didn't. Real Fact says Rodgers works so much better when he can spread that ball around with one good high receiver, one good high end receiver like DK is the main guy, and we got guys around him that are serviceable. Yeah, listen, look at his career in Green Bay. There was always a guy that was perceived to be the guy, and then everybody else was serviceable. Alan Lazard, had him in both places. See what I'm saying? A guy like Rodgers, I'm telling y'all right now, will make Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson look like them. And these dudes are hardworking guys. We see that already from, the little that we've been able to hear about Roman Wilson, but we definitely see it with Calvin. You know what I mean? So y'all just pump the brakes a little bit, man. What else we got, guys, before we get out of here? Let me make sure nobody else is in the Discord. Oh, we do got one. Hold on. Still a T. You are live. What you got for us?
Can you hear me, man?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
All right. What's up? What you doing? I've been
There we
following
go.
you since the Madden days, man. When you dropping them videos on Madden.
Oh, man. I appreciate that, bro. That's been a long time, man.
That's back in the day, man. Yeah, so it's good to finally get part of the program and come on and start your channel. I said, man, let me get in that kind of
You
what you're
cutting out.
doing, like what
You
you're doing.
cutting out in and out a little bit. We can hear you in spots. It's like you real clear, and then it cuts out.
Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Hold on one quick second. I got something doing. Something is on. I got two things playing back here. Hold on,
Yep.
hold on.
No problem. I hold for
Okay,
you,
man.
brother.
Okay, so now I think I got you pretty clear. Now, can
Oh,
you hear
yeah,
me?
yeah. Loud and clear now.
Okay, cool. I had something going in the back. But yeah, man, I've been a follower for a while, but this is the first time calling in. I've been following you for a minute, though. I said, man, I remember the Madden games you used to throw up there, those videos, and I followed all that. I said, man, look at him, a diehard Steeler guy right there. But then I started looking at the Terrible Child Tuesdays, man. I said, yeah, you know what? I got to get in here and call in and support this brother's channel, man. I definitely appreciate what you do, man. And it's pretty big what you do for the Steeler community, man. That's pretty cool.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I bet you that when you first was watching, I ain't had these little grays in my beard, huh?
Right. Yeah. Hey, but that's life, man. You're growing, man.
Yeah.
Life keeps going, man, and it gets all of us though, man. But it's good to see you in good health though, man. That's good.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. I'm glad to hear from you, man. The people who've been rocking that long, it almost feel like everybody know each other. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's something else, man. Yep.
Yeah, man. But what you got? Anything about the Steelers you want to say before you go?
Yeah. Let me put this out. Okay. I would say this. I got a couple of things. I agree with a lot of the callers that some of the things that have been put out so far. I agree with a lot of it. So you know what? Yeah, especially the last caller that said, "Let's wait and see how this thing goes," because yes, this is early season, and of course, people are not in game shape. The ball hasn't got out rolling like they want to get it rolling. But one of my real concerns, just by seeing everything, is keeping Aaron Rodgers upright. That's what I'm really concerned about. Trying to keep him upright, because I go, you can see what he can do if he's kept upright. We got to do something with this offensive line. I mean, I know it's early, and I know we got young dudes on the line, but we got to do something, because we ain't no good if Aaron Rodgers ain't held up. We gonna be back to the 9 to 10 games. I don't want the 9 to 10 games, man. We need to score some points. You know? So that's one of my concerns, is keeping Aaron upright. And the second thing is the coaching staff. I mean, especially on the defensive side of the ball. It's like moving people around. I mean, I know TJ's got his spot, and didn't they say something about before the season they were going to try to move TJ around a little bit more?
Yeah, they did. I think I saw. See, when I watched the 22, I'll know for sure, but I feel like I saw TJ on the opposite side a few times in that game. I'm not 100% sure though.
Okay, because I didn't catch it much, but I know he's mainly on his same side. So I said, you moving guys around, and Keanu Ben, that's my guy. I like that guy. They got to do something moving him from that nose tackle. We got to do something about that.
Yeah, man. It was hard to watch, bro.
Double blocks is tough. Taking double blocks, man. That's tough. That's not his game.
Yeah, it was hard to watch, man. Like I don't know if you were here earlier. I was able to watch the first drive so far on the all-22, and I'll watch the rest of it later tonight. Man, he was just getting cleaned out. He was getting double teamed, but he ended up on his butt, man. It was bad, bro. Bad. Yeah, I don't know.
Those are my concerns, man. Those are my concerns. Keeping Aaron, first things first, keeping Aaron upright, man. Keeping that. I mean, taking them hits are going to take a toll on you in the whole season. That'll take a toll on that old body.
Facts. Yeah, because one time y'all know y'all all saw it. It was one time he got the ball off, but he got hit square in the chest. I was like, oh no. That 41-year-old body, man, ain't gonna hold up, bro.
Yeah, I didn't like the hit in the ground. When you get hit standing straight up, but then that body hits the ground and now them linemen weight come on you. Oh man, it's like, oh, that's tough. That's tough to see. That old body holding up, man.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We
See what
will
happens with
see.
it. But that's all I got at the moment, man. That's what I got. But definitely appreciate the show, man. I definitely try to catch it every Tuesday, man. I'm out here on the West Coast. We 3 hours early. So I said, man, I got to catch him when he in prime, man, because it's getting late over there where he at.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate it. But yeah, you like Kenyon. And I muted you real quick just so I could continue. But definitely appreciate you calling. But yeah, you like Kenyon out there in the West Coast. And I appreciate y'all rocking because most of the time I'm at 8 o'clock. And that means y'all got to be tuned in at 5. The only reason why I'm a little later now is because, you know, you probably heard me say it, doing the little coaching for my son's little league team, and the practice is over at 8. So we'll be rocking at 9 at least until the end of October. Then after that, I'll probably go back to 8. But man, much love. Appreciate you tuning in, especially you being a long-time subscriber, man, or viewer. You know, knows if you subscribed or not, but you support the channel. So I appreciate that. But all right, guys, I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer, man. That's an hour and 1 minute. One thing we did learn tonight, Discord works. So I told you guys, I promised you guys that I would get some type of form of y'all being able to call back in because I missed that interaction, man. I really did. I don't know if Mr. Winningham is in here, but Mr. Winningham, if you see this later, I hope you have a Discord because I always looked forward to talking to you. Man, even if I have to create the account for you, I'll do it. Right? So I hope he hears this. If he's not in here, can't wait to hear from some of you guys. Like, oh, Johnny, I know all y'all used to love Johnny when he called. But like I said, man, somebody said, what, Ecamm and Mix LR. So I'm going to look into those programs because ideally it's better to have a service that you don't need a sign in because not everybody deals with technology like that. And I hate for you guys to create something just to, you know what I mean? But hey, if this is what works, then this is what works. But guys, anything else before I go, man? Anything important y'all want to get off your chest? I'm going to give some more love to, and I'm going to throw the round of applause to him as well. Chris Boswell. Man. I did not say it Sunday, but that was Chris Boswell's career long. I thought it was. And it's funny because my wife asked me, she was like, has he ever kicked it that far? And I said, you know what, babe? I don't think so. I remember Boswell hitting like a 56 or something like that, but I don't think he had ever hit a 60. So much love and much respect to the Wizard of Boz, man. Hey, he might have to be considered perhaps the best kicker in the league right now. I remember it was 1 and 2, you know, with him and Freak Boy. Yo, I couldn't let it go. It's funny, y'all ain't hear me say nothing about it in the off season. I had to. I've been holding that for a long time. It used to be Boswell and Freak Boy. And if y'all don't know who I'm talking about, man, y'all ain't in tune. Yeah, it used to be them two that was, you know, 1 and 2. And then we started feeling like it might have been 1A and 1B. But now that, you know, homie is out of the picture, freaky, then it's got to be Chris Boswell, man. So shout outs to Chris Boswell for doing this thing. Who just signed with the Browns? Freak Boy? You lying. Justin Tucker, guys. For some of y'all that ain't catch it, man. But yo, did he sign with the Browns for real? Oh, y'all playing. And yeah, Mark, I did love that. I love that Tomlin called Boswell the serial killer. That was fire. Y'all telling me Freak Boy? Wait, well, hold on. I know he ain't signed with Cleveland because I got more jokes. Kenya, you crazy. Oh, okay. They say he's suspended. I was about to say, I know Freak Boy ain't gonna get with Freak Boy. I killed myself, man. I'm here all night, guys. 2 shows on Friday. I know daggone well they ain't signed Freak Boy with a Freak Boy. That's all I'm saying, man. But let me get back to it, man. Let's close this thing out, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight, man. I really enjoyed this, man. It's week 1. We back. Appreciate all of the, you guys supporting. One thing I definitely need y'all to do though, right here, man. If you really support me and y'all really think you keep saying you like the show and you like the video, hit the like button. That's it. That's the easiest thing that you can do. That don't cost you nothing. That ain't that's not you joining the channel that has a fee. That's not you giving some Wonder Bread. That's a fee. That is free. Hit the like button, because the more you like the video, the more YouTube will wake up and the algorithm will catch the content. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but hey, I'm not saying I'm no better than anybody else, but daggone it, I know we have fun and we do a good job over here. So yes, this channel should be bigger in terms of the show. Yes, I'm going to say that. You got to speak it into existence. But you can help that by liking the video. The more likes, the more attention, the more we get put into that positive algorithm, and then we can go to the moon. And if I can go to the moon, maybe I could do this full time one day. Who knows? I don't know. But outside of that, guys, I appreciate y'all, man. Much love, much respect. That's it. And I'm going to give you my spiel like I do each and every week. What I need y'all to do for me, man, is to stay healthy, stay safe. God bless. Good night. Like always, I thank each and every one of you all for tuning in. And I shall catch you in the next one. But I should be seeing you Saturday for the pregame show. All right? See y'all later. Peace.